Good afternoon. Yeah, it's cold here today. It was 21 this morning, and currently I haven't been outside much. Oh, we're up to 50. That's a good day. That's fine. Just getting cold overnight. Anyway, anybody else having one of those days? I guess we're just going to title this week of the Rant. I get so many things to rant about, I don't even know where to start anymore. Just for those of you, yeah, frigid New Jersey, no kidding, I'm glad I'm not there. For those of you who saw Monday's rant about the post about small batch, the person who originally posted that said that my video was full of misinformation, even though I read a letter specifically from small batch. So I reached out to Small Batch myself today, sent them an email, and waiting for a response because I think that they need to be a little more vocal about what is being said and truth on either side. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I think it's not up to me. It's up to the company if they want to put out a fire that's a little silly, but anyway, those fires can cause huge economic repercussions, as we saw with today's topic. So I seriously cannot believe that we are still talking about DCM, dilated cardiomyopathy, as it relates to grain-free foods, or not, as the case may be. So VCA Hospitals, which is owned by Mars, the candy company, I just saw a statistic that 41% of the pet food sold last year came from Mars. By the way, Mars owns Banfield Animal Hospital, VCA Animal Hospitals, Antec Labs, the radiology, veterinary radiology, I can't remember the name of it, Sound Technologies maybe. They're literally taking over the veterinary field. They own Blue Pearl Veterinary Specialty Hospitals. And, if our MDs were employed by a candy company, would we look at them differently? Would we say, maybe the person in charge of my health shouldn't also be selling me food that is loaded with salt and sugar and things that make the food addictive, and so maybe the best resource for information for my pet's health should come from someone who doesn't have sort of some ulterior motives, or I don't know. So apparently VCA Animal Hospitals has a magazine or newsletter or something that is sent out to all of their hospitals and all of the clients. So we're looking at hundreds of thousands of pet owners. And there was a big article in there by our dear friend Dr. Lisa Freeman from Tufts, who, by the way, is paid by the large pet food companies, particularly Nestle is a big one, for her research and her public-facing figure. And I cannot believe that she is still writing articles saying that with a long list of foods that are supposedly bad for our pets. Now, believe me, I am not promoting feeding grain-free kibble, but my dogs are on a grain-free diet. They're on a grain-free raw diet. They're on a high-meat diet. Guess what promotes good heart health? Oh, yeah, all those amino acids that are found in meat. I am so saddened for our small pet food stores, our small retailers, who really have worked tirelessly for a decade or more trying to educate people about how to feed their pets a healthy diet. And so we've gotten all these people who have gotten off of the crap food bandwagon and have started feeding really high quality foods, high meat foods, human grade quality foods, raw foods, whatever. But they've upped their game for their pets to this level from somewhere down here. And now, because of this misinformation, saying that we're going to kill our dogs and give them, or cats even in this list, that we're going to kill them by feeding them grain-free diets, that they all need to go back to eating corn. Hello? It's misinformation, folks. We don't have any proof. Frankly, I think there should be lawsuits, and maybe some of you smaller high-end pet food companies, Dennis, maybe you guys should get together and put some pressure on the FDA and on the people that are writing these articles without proof. I mean, we don't have proof, and it's. Again, I am not recommending that we all go start feeding grain-free kibble. I'm recommending we feed whole foods, human-grade foods, and we really support our pets with food that is going to make them thrive, that is going to keep them healthy. How do you get your animals to live into their late teens? You feed them real food. You feed them whole food. You feed human-grade food. You don't feed them highly processed, high-heat processed, dead food with chemicals added to it. So I'm really frustrated because I'm seeing it popping up all over social media again. This article is being posted like it's the gospel. Like we all have to give up the good food that we've worked so hard to convince people, like, this is the way to do it. This is how to keep your pets healthy. And it's like nothing even happened over the last 3 years. It's like we went right back to where we were. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, how do we keep posting all this stuff with no evidence? Where's the evidence? I want to see evidence. I don't want to see her opinion. I don't want to see, Anyway, I'm tired of it. The amount of damage done to companies by Freeman and Stern is staggering. I suspect they may have already been sued by companies. I hope so. I did see something about somebody saying that there was actually a lawsuit against the FDA or coming out against the FDA about the misinformation. It would be really nice. But a lot of people lost their jobs over this. A lot of companies saw their sales plummet. And they were good companies that were doing decent things. And had upped the game for people who wanted to feed their pets well. So unfortunately for the independent retailers who have done all this work educating people, and now people are literally returning their high quality food and saying, no, I want a bag of this crap over here that has corn in it. Wrong. And so it's very hard because now these independent retailers are literally having to start the game all over again. They're having to re-educate and have facts behind them to refute this information. And I feel sorry for them because it's hard enough as an independent pet retailer to keep your head above water. And when this kind of stuff happens, it greatly impacts a lot of people. But, welcome to the world of big pharma, big pet food, big whatever, big corporations. So that's today's rant, folks. Welcome to the week of rants. Yeah, I feel like at least once a week on the Golden Retriever pages, someone posts a PSA about this issue. And every time I share the latest data showing no connection, but everyone preaches feeding Purina Pro Plan makes me sick. I agree. It is a travesty. It's horrible. And it's... particularly in and I'm not saying Blue Pearl and VCA and Banfield are bad hospitals. I'm just saying this is who they're owned by, and that's who they answer to. They do great work. They do a lot of research for pet health. I'm not slandering them. I'm just saying this is who they answer to, and I personally would prefer not to have my medical decisions dictated by a pet food company or a candy company. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, and in some rural areas where these hospitals have opened up and it's the only advanced care that you have available, yay, go for it. No problem. Just, remember that you are your pet's advocate and you have to take everything in and research it and decide what is best for your pet. So I gotta go feed donkeys. It's getting late. Having one of those days. Everybody have a great day. But I'll see if I can get some barking or something. There we go. Yeah, it's staggering what's allowed in our food as well. Exactly. Lori Koger says they named actual individual products. Never happened before. Like, how do you say nationally, publicly, don't feed this list of foods with zero proof that they caused anything? How do you do that and not get sued? Horrible.